Gold rally could go further still after hedge funds place record bullish bets. Take a look at this. Hedge funds' bullish bets on gold are the largest on record. However, the overall net position is the second biggest on record, just behind the significant short covering seen in early June of 2019, noting that this could be sort of the same scenario. Hedge funds are also using leverage in equities trading at near all-time high levels after debt-fueled strategies ballooned in recent years and an upturn in financial markets prompted riskier bets. And the icing on the cake is that 354 million more leverage positions liquidated in Bitcoin as well as crypto as a whole just happened in the past 24 hours alone. What is going on, guys? Lottery Stocks here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if you're new. Today we have a lot of stuff to cover with AMC, GameStop, the overall market, and some additional things. Of course, I'm going to try to make this as fast as possible and get all of the info out to you guys for free. The only thing I ask in return for researching, editing, uploading, and recording these for you guys, not in that order, is to please hit the like button. It is free. It helps me out. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Almost half of you guys who come watch my videos aren't subscribed, which means we're missing out on 5,000 to 10,000 plus subscribers. Okay, the dark pool index, the DIX, collapsed even further yesterday after collapsing on Friday. The big boys are selling to someone, and it is not each other. And this could also be pointing in the direction that they are about to dump on retail. Before we get into what's happening with the market and the potential pullback that we could see, I found something interesting, and it's that Robinhood, when they took the buy button away from AMC as well as GameStop, it wasn't just for a day, as many of you guys know, or as many of you guys thought. It was actually for a week, and you can see that right here, eliminating its customers' ability to meaningfully purchase meme stocks through extremely strict position limits. So Robinhood did set these stocks to position close only, aka PCO, but they also set very close limit purchases on these stocks. So not only did they stop AMC and GameStop owners from buying on their platform, but they encouraged a selling run on these stocks for an entire week. All right, Ortex numbers, 12.63% short interest. You're seeing a decrease once again in short interest, which again, we pay attention to it for the trend. We know it's not accurate because we would see different price action. 33.13 million shares shorted. We come over and we take a look at Stonko Tracker for a quick update. We have about 8,000 calls compared to 32,000 puts expiring in the money. Not a good thing to see. We are losing on the options chain with a very important week ahead. Over 270,000 call contract and over 140,000 put contracts. So we really wanted to win this week over on the options chain. But as of right now, you can see that short exempts are remaining high from 235 to 393 to 193, pushing it below crucial levels. Market makers want to keep this thing down as best as possible for the week. We also have some catalysts that are coming out this week, some that have already come out. Before we get into those, there was another order imbalance on AMC of 357,605 shares on the buy side, so they could not match the sellers here. This leads us into the next point. The charts trading at 429, down 1.61% on the day, holding that 428 level as best as possible. And if we played out what we tracked yesterday and what we showed you guys was a likely scenario, this is the bars pattern from the very last green cycle, dragged and dropped onto AMC now. Again, not exact, but rhyming, right? You see the three tops that's happening, and then the flush down, which could be here. And then you'd get that second flush down breaking below these trend lines, which hopefully would hold around $4 to $3.90, and then it would slowly scale down until late March before squeezing. This is one possibility, one scenario, and if AMC turns around and invalidates this scenario, then I'm going to delete this, and we have the other one that is going to play out, which just means immediate direction to the upside. Okay, so either scenario is not bad. I personally plan on purchasing more if AMC drops below these levels. I know that's annoying to hear, but in my opinion, I think it's one of the last resorts, one of the last levels AMC is going to hit before moving higher, and I think it is the last chance to purchase. Again, nothing I say is financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy on YouTube doing my own trading. Now, GameStop, 8,000 calls compared to 7,000 puts expiring in the money. We are winning on the options chain with 53,000 calls expiring out of the money as well compared to 15,000 puts, so extra bullish. Short exempts died down a little bit, 9,000 over on GameStop. We come and we take a look at the charts. It's sitting sideways, not up or down, 1443. Came back into this demand zone and it is sitting there. Not much to say here on GameStop. We either get that move higher, that immediate break higher, which looks better for GameStop, would look better, or we break back into another cycle under 1252, which would also break us back into the macro trend line and likely find us a relative low. Now, XRP just broke out yesterday. We talked about it. I ended up moving my ladies coin into XRP. Now it's sitting at 68 cents, getting a little bit of a cool off. This is a healthy cool off. I wouldn't be mad if XRP based off of 65 cents before moving higher, but a lot of things across the board are getting a cool off. But why? Well, February CPI inflation rate rises to 3.2% above expectations of 3.1. Core CPI fell to 3.8 above expectations of 3.7, which is the 35th consecutive month with inflation above 3% and second straight increase, which means the Fed pivot is becoming less and less likely, which means the Fed raising rates is becoming more likely and them cutting rates is becoming less likely. The US economy is so strong that there might not be any rate cuts in 2024, according to CNN. Now, before we touch on the overall market, what's selling off and what is not, guys, get in the Discord. The link is right under the video. Come talk stocks with me, as well as the most amazing people who talk stocks as well as crypto all day long. Whether you're a beginner or advanced trader, this is the place to go. It's been a little bit quiet over the past couple of days, so if you are a new member joining, it's not usually like this. It's time to make some money. At the end of the video, we're going to talk about the earnings plays that are happening after hours. We post our gains, post our losses, and have options trading alerts in there, and I post my personal positions as soon as I take them. That link is the second link under the video and pinned in the top comments. And if you guys want to press the first link, it's to Moomoo, where you can get 15 free stocks, each valued up to $2,000 per stock. So yes, a free shot at 30 grand, and then 8% back on your uninvested cash, 8.1 that is for 3 months, and then 5.1 for the rest of the year or the rest of the time being. This is not going to last long. There is no broker giving you these benefits, and yes, your money's insured. It's a safe broker, it's a free broker, and they're giving you access to trading options, shorting, going long, of course, viewing other exchanges, a customized earnings calendar, level 2 order book data, and more. Both of those links are at the top of the description and pinned in the top of comments. Check out the other links under the video as well, guys. Feel free. SPY 515.05, up 0.75% on the day, getting a rising wedge right now. SPY is looking decent. There's not much to say here, but it is slightly losing steam, and it didn't get the greatest news today. But as of right now, it seems like people within the market aren't really caring, or at least that's what they want you to think, right? Big players have pumped up the overall market and some additional plays alongside it, and is it time for them to dump off on us? Speaking of dump off, Bitcoin got rejected in the supply zone right around $73 and is coming all the way back down to $70 even. Again, we had this line drawn out here. I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin came down, and based off of it, I think that would be healthy. And as of right now, we're testing it. I don't want to flash below and break below. I would rather consolidate. However, this could be very well a shakeout, breaking us under 68,500 for a brief hour or a brief few hours. And I just want to put that on your radar that I'm not getting shaken out of my Bitcoin. And just to put this into perspective for you, I want to cover one section of a halving rally, or one section of a Bitcoin bull rally, which is the second phase, the final pre-halving retrace. After the pre-halving rally has concluded, a pre-halving retrace tends to occur a few weeks before the halving event itself. Dark blue right here. In 2016, this pre-halving retrace was 38% deep. Then in 2020, it was 20% deep. This pre-halving retrace can last multiple weeks and up to 77 days. But this year, Bitcoin has experienced an 18% pullback in January, as well as 14% in early March. Therefore, it's possible a pre-halving retrace, should one occur, would more likely be on the shallower side than on the deeper side. Also, this pre-halving retrace could also be much shorter than has otherwise been the case historically. So if Bitcoin gets a pre-halving retrace like the other ones, it may be less substantial than the previous ones, which means I would be watching around 67,000 to 64,000, and then at most 59,000 for a Bitcoin retrace before the halving, which is very, very soon in April. So this may have just been the relative peak. Again, I will not be getting shaken out. Now, Nvidia sold off, held this level at 860 and then bounced today back up to 901. At this point, Nvidia looks to be cooling off, popping, cooling off, popping. However, 950 was the last level I had drawn out on the fib, and if Nvidia comes up and retests 950 again and gets rejected, I will personally be looking at puts for Nvidia. Tesla, hammer candle, not showing strength. I'm just waiting for this thing to break lower, especially with CPI data that came out today, anticipating that the Fed's not going to cut any further or soon at all. Not a good look for Tesla. Apple also looking weak in my opinion. I expect a breakdown on this over the next couple of weeks. Finally, to close out the video, here are the earnings after the close. You have some interesting ones in here. Keep an eye on CLOV. I believe that was an old squeeze play, as well as keep an eye on PHUN. This correlates with DWAC. DWAC may have some sympathy to it. Overall, guys, that is what I got for you for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed watching or found value out of the video. Again, get in the Discord, get your free stocks. I love you all. Lottery Socks out.